Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Rock Shop with Ralph, your source for the best celebrity interviews, Better Off Dead edition. And from the movie Better Off Dead, we have the star and Plainview native, Diane Franklin.
Woo!
Returning guest, and she's here to talk about this. She's here to talk about her book, The Excellent Comedy of the Last American French Exchange Student Babe of the 80s, a.k.a. the Better Off Dead tribute book. And the star of that movie, which is one of my favorites of all time, no lie, Miss Diane Franklin. Welcome back.
Merci buckets.
Merci buckets. And look what Diane is wearing. She's wearing the Rock Shop with Ralph shirt. Can you believe it? Yeah, baby.
In honor of me coming back on the show. Thank you for having me back.
That is so cool. And of course, we got, look, behind me, she's always there. We got Diane as Karen with a K.
Looking over your shoulder.
Looking over my shoulder. And we got, the autograph picture, which I put up the last time she gave me. I mean, that was the highlight of my year last year. But we always start off with, since you're from the East Coast, I got to give you, how you doing?
How you doing? I'm good. I'm glad you asked. I'm good. Jeez. It's such I have to say the only thing I feel is very, I feel like the pandemic is lifting. So everything is different again, right? Again, like today was the first day I was out and no masks, nobody had masks. And I was like, it felt weird. Now it's been a couple of years, right? And you're wearing a mask, and all of a sudden you're like, I guess not. So, we're back, and I just am glad I made it to the other side.
Right, and you just got back from a convention, right? Because over the weekend I saw the pictures you posted.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I went to the convention. First of all, it wasn't for a while, but then I went to the Hollywood convention in Burbank, and I got to meet. I mean, part of these conventions, if you haven't gone to a convention, oh my God, it'll be I'm telling you. You have to go to a convention at least once in your life, a signing convention. It could be a celebrity convention, horror convention, or comic book convention. But if you go into the area of your interest, like the celebrity conventions, you'll see, TV stars and film stars. And I was excited to meet, so many different actors. It was so exciting. I saw Leah Thompson. We got a picture together.
Yeah, I saw that one.
Isn't that cute? And
you got red hair now.
She's got it looked maybe the picture, but she looks wonderful, and everybody was in really good spirits, and I just had a great time. I also ran into Larry Wilcox, and Larry and I, from Chips, with
Eric Estrada.
Eric Estrada, right? So here's the thing: I never knew Eric Estrada, but I knew Larry Wilcox because he actually. He tried to kill me in a movie of the week called Deadly Lessons. Okay. So when I must have been like 19 or 20 or something like that. We did this movie, and he played this police officer, and he tries to kill me, and then it's divulged that he's the killer and all this stuff. So, but it was really funny. So I saw him, and then Eric Estrada was like, "Hi, how's it going?" And I'm like, "Oh, look, let's just do a picture together." It was very cute. But he's super sweet too. So really just fascinating people. They had the guy from Family Affair, the kid, the little boy.
Oh, Sigmund and the Sea Monsters too. Johnny Whitaker.
They had Johnny Whitaker there. There's just so many. Kim Delaney was there. There's a lot of people maybe that these names won't ring a bell, but those who do, you go, wow.
Oh, my bells go off all the time. I know them all.
Right? Isn't it? I like to put that in my Instagram pictures of these conventions because I know it brings back memories. Like people say, oh my gosh, that person and that person, it just is cool to see. So I highly recommend it for people.
Absolutely. Bringing back memories.
Yeah.
We're talking about this movie. I was 15 years old, 1985. Better Off Dead came out. Before that, we talked about your other movie, The Last American Virgin. We talked about that. But here, talk about Better Off Dead. I'll talk about this one.
Okay.
If you're a teenager coming of age around that time, this is like one of your favorite movies. I mean, it is mine and all my friends. We still quote the lines to this day. Right. And there's so many great lines in there, so many great scenes. when you talk about this book, this is what you talk about, Diane's book. Okay, it's available on Amazon. Chock full of nuts, trivia. She goes through the scenes. She interviews the actors and the actresses, and we're going to talk about as much as we can with it. But this movie, Better Off Dead, is about a kid who breaks up, played by John Cusack, Lane Meyer, who breaks up, or Beth, played by Amanda Weiss.
Weiss.
Excuse me?
Amanda Weiss.
Weiss. I'm sorry. I thought it was Weiss.
Rhymes with kiss. Okay.
Okay. Amanda Weiss. I'm sorry, Amanda. If you ever come on the show, I'll correct it. I thought it was Weiss all that time. Yeah. So he's. It's satire. He's trying to kill himself, and he never does it. And this funny stuff goes on. And as the movie goes along, the running joke was everybody's asking him to take out Beth. But
I love that.
That's like the running joke, you know. But we have Miss Diane Franklin played Monique, the foreign exchange student, and she becomes sort of a love interest for Lane Meyer, played by John Cusack, and of course Ricky, who we're going to talk about. And it's a great movie. She teaches him how to get back on his feet. She teaches him how to fix cars. She teaches him how to show some balls and race the two Chinese guys who think they're Howard Cosell, you know. And it's great. It's great. So let's talk about the beginning of how the movie got made. I just found this out, and I didn't know this. Savage Steve Holland was the director, and the writer, right? And he was trying to get the movie made, and it wasn't going to get made. But you had help with Henry Winkler, the Fonz.
I remember the Fonz. We all go the Fonz, right? Like this is his identity. Unbelievable, right? What a nice and what a great match, because you know Happy Days, when that was on at that time, had such a wholesome but funny background, and then for him to connect with Savage and understand the humor in that, and connect John Cusack with all that together, was really just a tremendous stroke of luck for this film.
Right, and he's the one who really pushed to get the. If it wasn't for him, the movie would have never got made, according to Savage Steve Holland in the book.
Yeah,
I read it. I mean, so we got to thank Henry Winkler for getting this movie made.
Thank you, Mr. Winkler. I would love to meet you one day if you ever see this.
I met him. What a friggin' nice guy this guy is. He talks nothing like the Fonz. He's very passive, very, very subdued. And you're like, it's like night and day.
You know, I really should thank him because, yeah, you're right. This wouldn't have happened without him. So,
yes.
Especially with this book now, I should go find him.
There's the book again. I'm going to keep showing it. Diane Franklin.
It's my favorite. I love it. I'm really glad you got a chance to read it because, you know,
I read it.
I tell people, you know, this book is to me the what we always wanted in like extra features and a Blu-ray. We wanted to know things. And there are things in the book that I didn't even know. Like Savage Steve Holland, he wrote a bunch of stuff and he included it. And I really, to a certain extent, like I was like, I can't take credit for this book because everybody put in something to it that made me feel just so, I felt so honored and was so thrilled to actually take the journey of writing it, you know, because again, I played Monique, I did my job, but I got such favorable feedback from the fans that I thought, you know, let me delve into this. So I had to do a lot of research for this book and step out of my comfort zone and write things that, I don't know, it was really so great. I mean, so you go ahead, ask questions.
That's all right. No, you go. We'll talk about the book. And I just want to mention one other thing. A lot of this excerpts in the movie are based on Savage Steve Holland's life. A lot of the characters are based on his sister and his mother, the cooking and all that stuff. But yeah, let's talk about the characters now. Okay, let's start with John Cusack. Here's one thing, and you have to clarify this. Did it happen that he hated the movie so much when he saw it? Did that really happen? Do you know? Because he walked out of the theater and he was so mad at Savage.
Theater when it happened. Okay, I was there. We were all watching the movie. You know, like I mean, the credits were coming up. The theater was packed.
Right.
Okay? It was our premiere for the cast and crew, and the theater was packed. I don't even understand, like, maybe, I guess, regular publics, maybe it was in it partly, or maybe it was press, for all the press people. It was a big theater, and we're about to watch it. And, you know, like the credits roll with the animation.
Right.
Cartoons. And people are already laughing out loud in the theater with the credits already, because movies don't usually start, live action movies don't usually start with cartoons, but it sets up the tone, you know?
Yes.
And it was the first, I have to say, live action cartoon, like mixing a film with, it's not campy, it's cartoony.
Mhm.
And Savage knew that style, and he understood it so beautifully. So it starts off where that was happening, and John sat there and watched it, and all of a sudden, I mean, I'm gonna say, what, 10 minutes or whatever, he gets up and leaves the theater. And I didn't even know he was upset or anything. You
figured he's going to the bathroom or something.
I figured he's going to the bathroom, or like maybe he's like calling somebody and saying, "Oh my God, this movie's great." I don't know. We don't know. And even it wasn't till after, I mean, we were just so enjoying the film, and people were coming up to me and they loved it. And I had no idea that he didn't like it until it came out with Savage. And I have a feeling that maybe he just told Savage privately, like, this is, I can't believe you did this. But you have to understand, like, John, when that movie came out, like when it was presented to John, first of all, no one had ever done a film like this kind of style, this style. And, I'm sure that when John read it, it was like about a guy who wants to kill himself over a girl. And so, to him, maybe that subject matter seemed a little bit really grounded and real. And maybe he thought it was more edgy. And when the film was made, obviously, it was interesting because there's, it's like in the scenes, like with the, what do you call it? The
toothpicks. The Q-tips.
Q-tips, yeah, all over the face and stuff like that. I think that he just, I think he didn't at the time see that, as an actor, if you take a scene and you separate it, maybe that seems a little bit embarrassing. But then if you put it in the context of the whole story, oh my gosh, he's endearing. We love John.
Yes. He was great.
We are John. We all do goofy things.
Yeah.
And we become closer to the character. One of the things I've always been told as an actress is you need to be vulnerable, because if you're not vulnerable, the audience they can't have empathy. They can't feel for you, because we have a vulnerable side. Everyone does. And, if you just play angry, mad, or, defensive, why should the audience watch you? They can see their boss get angry. They can see wife get mad. What we lack is the ability to see people's deeper emotions, vulnerability. And so that's why, I think people love going to the movies,
Yeah.
I think at the time he just didn't get it. But I have to tell you that I think he felt betrayed by Savage.
That's what he said.
But as the years went on, and he got to do more serious work, which is I think where his heart was, or is.
That about a lot of his movies.
Over the years, he has softened up, and he has signed, and there was a time where he never signed Any Better Off Dead material.
Right.
Ever. Like, people said to me, I would be like, oh my gosh, you got John to sign that. That was phenomenal. And now he is. And I think it's because he's starting to get how much people love the film. They don't like the film. It's become a tradition. It's become a family tradition. And now I think he's understanding that he's given such happiness to the world. That's what
and to his credit, he came out and he said later on the years, he says, I never said I hated the movie. I just thought it could have been better. And I want Steve Holland to know that I'm starting to like the movie. He came out and said that. And I've seen you've done conventions with him now.
I did a convention.
Yeah, in 2019.
Oh my gosh. Before the pandemic, I am so, I even said to him when I saw him, I'm like, John, we should do a movie together. People would go crazy. I mean, they would absolutely go crazy if John and I did.
What did he say? Yeah, call my agent. Call my agent. I did Con Air. I did Say Anything. I did this.
So, who knows? I keep it, anything's possible to me.
Right. Well, that's John. There's so many iconic characters in this thing, but I got to talk Amanda Wyss. I want to talk about her, who played Beth, who was great. She was in, before that, Fast Times at Ridgemont High. She was Brad's girlfriend, and she broke up with him. Well, they don't want to use sex as a tool, Brad, she tells him. But she plays Beth, and she played a great character. My favorite moment with her was when she's in the bedroom and she's taking Lane Meyer's picture out, and she's putting the other guy's picture in as she's talking. In the frame.
I really think I need to be more popular.
She's taking the picture out.
This is really not good for my image. Like that, I'm like, oh my God. Like, I mean, that you cry laugh. Like, that is just such a funny idea of a girl being that. She's just so calm about it.
Right. Yeah.
So calm. And I have to tell you, okay, so Amanda and we're very good friends, which is, we were friends when we did the movie. We became like BFFs. And then our careers took different directions. We started doing different things, and we were working a lot, but our careers have been very similar. She did Fast Times, and I did Virgin. She did Freddie's Nightmare. The iconic scene.
Yeah.
Iconic, I have to tell you, like, unbelievable, obviously. And I did the Amityville Possession, Part 2. And then we did Better Off Dead together. And then she did the Silverado, and I did Bill and Ted's. So we had like kind of interesting careers where we started doing, plus we stopped acting, I stopped acting for a while. I don't know if she did or not. She did some TV roles as I did. She did Cheers, and I did Murder, She Wrote, and we just like did different ones. But then we started again acting. And so she just did a movie called The Id, and I did a movie called Amityville Murders. And like, so again, our careers are
like coming full circle.
Yeah. And we're seeing each other a lot. And I do conventions, and I brought her onto some conventions I'm doing, and it's just great. She is a lovely person, people. She is not Beth. She is way cute and way sweet, and we just get along really well. So I'm a big fan of Amanda's, and I'm glad to say, I kept thinking like, well, Beth and Monique should have, do their own movie. Beth and Monique open a store in like, Big Bear in the next movie, and Ricky is the mayor.
Ricky, we're gonna get to Ricky, but here's my next guy. One of my favorites in the movie.
Oh,
Charles DeMar, played by Curtis Armstrong. Okay, I gotta tell you, one of my favorite. I'm telling you, people out there, Italians like me, I'll always quote Goodfellas and The Godfather and all that stuff. But the comedies, I'll quote Stripes and Caddyshack and Better Off Dead. One of my favorite lines in the movie is when he goes, "You listen to me. I've been going to this high school for 7.5 years. I'm no dummy." I'm no dummy.
Always funny.
Always funny. Now, Curtis Armstrong from Risky Business, and eventually he did Moonlighting. But before that, he did this movie. And he's like the sidekick, and, snorting snow and saying it's pure snow. It's the street value of this stuff.
That's the other line I love.
You know what the street value of this stuff is?
You know the street value of this stuff.
The entire population is there to see one Lane Meyer tackle this totally untamed slope. Dead or alive. That is all. I can laugh all day long. I was dying when I saw this movie, Diane. I was literally dying. I was laughing so hard. Me and my friends, I was like, this is one of the best movies I ever seen at the time,
Curtis had the best lines. Curtis, he got the lines, knew how to say them.
Right.
And, it's so great to hear you say those lines, because it's still funny. I don't know
Absolutely.
What it is, but it's so funny. It still is. Like,
Right. Now, what I want to mention, I'm sorry to interrupt you. What I want to mention is you got certain people to do interviews for the book, and one of them was with Curtis.
Yeah.
And Amanda. I'm curious, how hard was it to get certain people? I mean, you didn't get everybody, but you got certain people. What was it? Do people like turn you down, or it's just scheduling conflicts, or you can't get in touch with people?
Well, you know what's amazing? Okay, so Curtis, I asked if he could do an interview, and at first he turned me down. He was too busy.
Really?
He was like, I can't do it. And I mean, and Curtis and I are close. So it was like, okay, well, like I knew like he was busy with stuff. So I was like, okay, fine. Because there's we're all doing stuff, So, but because I didn't have a deadline on this, which was so great. I mean, I self-publish. And so if you have someone publish else, there's a deadline and you got to like stay on it. And so for me, I was like, you know what, I'm not pushing it. If I can't get it right away, I won't, and then with the pandemic, I was like, I don't want to put it out in 2020. That's just not the right timing, So I waited, I was doing stuff and I finally get it together. And then I said, oh my gosh, I have to get this book out by my birthday, my 60th birthday, mind you, my 60th.
Hold on a second. Because you guys believe that this girl, lovely Diane Franklin, is 60 years old. She looks just like the picture in back of me. I mean, really.
Thank you. Thank you.
Great.
Thank you so much. Mwah. Send you a kiss.
All right. I'll take it. I would have taken it in 1985 too.
Blow it. But yeah, no, I mean, I was like, I have to get the book out. There was just something, it was like, I want that this year to be the year that I remember with this book. So because of that, so I started to book it like towards the January. I was like, I got to make things happen. And I thought, I'm just going to ask Curtis one more time. Because what happened was Curtis said to me, well, you could take stuff from my book. But I was like, I don't want to plagiarize it. And then, I want people to get his book to read his stuff. And so I thought, and that's kind of just weird. And then if I talk about him, well, that's, I don't know, I can do that. But so then he said, yes. So the cool thing about it is I have a taped interview of Curtis and I.
Okay.
And I have a taped interview of Cy Curnin and I. So there's certain people I go, oh my gosh, we actually.
Cy Curnin, let me just tell him, is the lead singer of The Fix, who did the duet in the movie.
Yeah.
With Rupert
so what
Hines.
I did is I had to tape it because I had to take notes, of what was real. But that was such a gift. Like I said to them, just thank you for letting me tape it, because obviously I'm writing things from what you're saying to be more accurate. But it was just, for me, personal gift to talk to Curtis. Personal, after all these years, I mean, we just got to look at each other and go, just go down memory lane.
Yeah.
I mean, it was really fun. And his daughter was away and his wife was somewhere else. And so he really got a chance to just sit and think about the movie. And I asked him questions that normally people don't, because they weren't on the film. So I asked him things maybe he had never thought of. And it was just interesting. And I feel like, it's definitely, I think, things in the book that have never been said before, certainly.
Yeah. Well, one of the things he says, and we're going to move on because we got a lot of stuff, is he said, because he did 2 films prior to that. He did Risky Business and Revenge of the Nerds. He said this was the first film that they wanted him, where he didn't have to audition. Savage Steve Holland said, listen, he called his agent and says, I want this guy, because he knew him from Risky Business, the cocky sidekick to Tom Cruise, and they gave him that part. So, I mean, it's great. It's legendary. Charles DeMar with the top hat practically makes the movie, but there's always all the other characters. It's like what I love about Better Off Dead was there's always this intertwining stories going on, between him and the $2 paper boy, and everybody wanted to X out Beth, and so much, and the Chinese.
Everybody has meaning to each other's character.
Right.
It's not just 2 people having one thing. It's like, oh my gosh, when this person, how does the dynamic change?
How does it work?
Like Mrs. Smith, the whole what, Oh my God.
Now we're going to talk about this guy. Ricky Smith, played by Dan Schneider, who people know Dan Schneider from Head of the Class, but he's most famous for now is he's a mega producer for iCarly and all those Nickelodeon.
iCarly and Zoe
Sam
101.
Sam and Cat.
Josh, Danger, something Danger.
Holly Danger.
Yeah. So many shows are because of Dan. He is Nickelodeon. He became Nickelodeon, basically. He was live action Nickelodeon. He hired Savage Steve. That's how crazy it was. So first Savage hired him. Now he hired Savage. It's crazy.
One of my funniest parts of that movie, and the first time I laughed, was when Ricky walks in, You meet Ricky. He walks in. He gives you this look like, zips up his zipper and walks away and turns around and walks away. I was laughing so hard in the movie theater. I'm like, what the hell's going on with this guy?
Ralph, I'm so glad you brought that up. That is hilarious. I forgot about that look.
He goes, he lifts his zipper up and he walks away. Oh my God, that was so funny. And he doesn't have many lines in the movie, you know? He doesn't have many lines in the movie.
Yeah, he doesn't talk. He also, like Monique, has been held captive by his mother.
Right.
The mother is the one who does all the talking. And, everybody knows somebody like that. Everybody knows a kid who does no talking because the mom does all the talking and the kid just stands there like, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the in joke about Monique, she's the French exchange student. And the whole half of the movie, she doesn't speak. She only speaks French. And you think that they're trying to talk to her and she doesn't speak any English. And they're like, oh, she doesn't speak any English. But meanwhile, she does speak English because she just
does, very much. Very good English.
Because he's trying to put his testicles all over her.
Yes, this doghead unleashed 6 fiend Ricky. He will not leave me alone.
Putting his tentacles. No. Tentacles. NT. Tentacles. But that was the running joke. Yeah, and then I can go on with all the characters. I'm just gonna name a few more. Now you couldn't get Dan to do an interview, huh?
At one point, he said he would do an interview, which was funny. Like, okay, and then later on, I think he just didn't. He was like, I don't know. So, with Dan, I was like, it's fine. I mean, my whole thing about Dan was I loved him in Better Off Dead. Hilarious.
Yeah.
And he's very cool. In fact, years later, I actually saw him. We took a photo together. He let me take a photo with him.
Oh.
But I think, I just wanted to remember the old Dan, the Dan that I
right. Not the Dan that's out. I got you.
Yeah, he's his own person now.
Yeah. One guy that I wish you got who was like the highlight of the movie was this guy.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
Badger Meyer, who plays Lane Meyer's brother, got flocks of girls coming to his room. He's got mail order smut coming. Taylor Negron plays a mailman. He goes, "What's a little boy like you getting smut like this?" He gets it delivered to his house.
Another great line. Like, what? Yeah. I like you doing the smut like that.
Why are you doing with smut like that? You couldn't get a hold of him.
Oh, okay. So Badger, played by Scooter Stevens.
Yeah,
and I don't even know what his name is now. Like it's something Stevens. I called him Scooter. Wherever you are, Badger, if you Scooter, if you see this podcast, contact me, actress Franklin at gmail.com. Contact me. I have been trying to find you, and I would do a redo on the version and add an interview with you. I would publish it because you are such a big part of people's lives. Seriously,
I'm gonna try to get in touch with him for you. I don't know. I'll try.
I know
I find a lot of people.
Oh, and then here's the great part. So after I do this whole book, Aaron Dozer says to me, I ran when I was younger, I ran into him at a college party. I'm like, oh my gosh, you saw him,
He didn't ask you to hold his clipboard?
Yeah.
Hold my clipboard. I wanted to smack that guy.
Yeah, right.
But here's another guy who he only had a couple of lines, but he was great. Chuck Mitchell.
Yeah, Rocco. Oh my gosh.
Rocco, who played by Chuck Mitchell, who was Porky in Porky's. So he goes, the best line, he goes, he's got a cigar. So you're Al Myers kid, huh? You look pretty stupid to me.
Ooh, that's a good one. Great imitation. That was
I'm pretty good. That's pretty stupid to me. That was great.
Ricky with Mrs. Smith.
Ricky,
love,
what about Ricky? Wow, this is some great liqueur here. Reminds me of the moonshine that Ricky's papa used to make. That's great. And she blows herself up. Laura.
Sorry, your mom blew up, Ricky, right?
Yes,
That's another great one.
I'm real sorry your mom blew up, Ricky. He tells him. But and then we got, of course, the rest in peace, Mr. Taylor Negron, who played the mailman. He had a small part, but he played a very good part. And E.G. Daly, I want to mention her.
Yes.
Because she played the singer at the school dance. And she had a hit. She had a hit on the radio with "Do You Want My Love? Say It." If you know that, remember that song. And she had 2 songs in the movie as well. And she's also the voice of Tommy in the Rugrats.
Oh, she is so talented, and she was in Pee-wee's Big Adventure as Dot.
Yes.
What I love about E.G., we are also dear friends, but E.G. is so talented. And I remember when I was in Better Off Dead and I heard her sing, I was blown away. I was like, why isn't this girl like have a record deal all the time? Like she's a singer, but E.G. to me is because she has so many talents. It was hard. I mean, I could see her being totally just a singer or totally just an actress. But when you have both, at the time, maybe it's hard to, and then her voiceover. So, I mean, she's multi-talented. She's really was gifted. She is gifted.
One interview you did get, which is one of my favorite parts of the movie, is this kid. The paper boy.
Oh.
Played by Damian Slade. Excuse me. The running joke of this movie was this kid comes to Lane Meyer's house and he says, "You owe me $2." Lane Meyer played by John Cusack, doesn't have the money. And all throughout this movie, this kid pops up and he goes, "I want my $2. I want my $2." They're on the ski slope and he's got skis on his bike and saying, "I want my $2." He's chasing them all around. How'd you get him? How'd you find him?
It's funny. I know Damien is also a musician, and I think occasionally he used to send me his music. And then, so he kind of stayed in contact with me. And then the Egyptian Theater here in Los Angeles was having a Q&A, and I was like, "Oh, you have to come to this Q&A." And he's like, "Oh, who cares? Nobody cares about me." I'm like, "Oh, no,
right.
no, you have no idea, Damien. Everybody cares about you. You were like a famous movie star." I was like, "I am." And so I gave him, I made him come, and he was just blown away by how many people remembered him from the film.
From that small part in that movie.
Yeah.
He practically made the movie.
Huge impression.
Go ahead.
And what's such a funny, again, just like the Beth runner, that it's just such a funny runner with the
You mind if I take Beth out?
$2, it's just beautiful.
What I want to mention about the movie was initially it wasn't a big hit. It made just over $10 million, which isn't chump change. I guess they can say it wasn't a blockbuster, but what it got its legs in life on was VHS, and people started watching it when tapes came out, and they were able to watch it at home and sit down with their friends. And listen, this movie took on a life of its own because 37 years later, they have conventions for Better Off Dead and book signings, and we have Diane Franklin coming out with a book. So I mean, it really is.
It's fun. I never even thought about it that way, but you're absolutely right. Like people, I have seen the fans from this film, and it is very gratifying to see people excited about it still today, because obviously so much time has passed. But more so people who love Better Off Dead are the nicest people. And it's like getting in a room with all your best friends and going, "Do you remember this? This is really funny." Right. And I just have to say, what a gift that is. There's something that film does that it doesn't matter rich, poor, any culture, just gender. There's just this movie brings people together, which is why I decided to write.
Yes. And where else could you see?
Yes.
Hamburgers. Right. Played with Eddie Van Halen's guitar. By the way, I got my Van Halen shirt on. It's actually Van Hagar. They're a Long Island band. Van Halen plays Everybody Wants Some, and you got claymation hamburgers playing to that. Where else did you see that?
Yeah, and then where did that come from? Out of the blue.
Out of the blue.
And people who have not seen the movie, you will love that. The French fries.
French fries and French bread. What I want to tell people too is if you look back and you see the actors and the actresses that went on to bigger, and I'm not saying the movie was small, but just bigger and better things through the years, I'm going to give you some names. You have an actor that was 2 Chinese guys. One of them spoke no English. one of them spoke like he was Howard Cosell, and they constantly wanted to race Lane Meyer. The one actor's name is Yuji Okamoto. He played a year later, he played Chosen in The Karate Kid Part 2. He went on to do that. And he's also in Cobra Kai as well. He came back. The two garbage men that are there, and he says, man, that's crazy, throwing away a perfectly good white boy like that. That was played by Stephen Williams, who later on went to play the captain on 21 Jump Street for 15 years. You know, you have David Ogden Stiers, who was in MASH. You have Kim Darby, who made a movie with you prior to that. But she was in a sick movie, which I mentioned to you the last time, called Don't Be Afraid of the Dark. It was a crazy movie where these little creatures lived under her stairs and they were trying to kill her. Oh. But, you know, you have all these Taylor Negron, we mentioned him, you know.
Schiavelli.
Vincent Schiavelli played
One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Yeah. Played him. He also, how I think he got that part was, now here's the craziness with me. Henry Winkler had a lot to do with getting that movie made. He was in the movie Night Shift with Henry Winkler starred, with Ron Howard directed, with Michael Keaton, and Vincent Schiavelli was the delivery guy that kept giving him the wrong sandwich. So I kind of figured that's how he got that part, but he was great for that. He played the math teacher. Wow. That's another actor. Rest in peace. But I strongly urge everybody to get that movie any way you can, and especially you got to get Diane's book. Okay? This is her book. It's available on Amazon. Remember, one more time, it's The Excellent Comedy of the Last American French Exchange Babe of the 80s. Now, what are your fond memories? Just a couple of stories of fond memories from making that movie.
Oh my gosh. Well, first of all, okay. So
favorite scene in the movie. How about that?
Well, the first thing that comes to mind is when Mrs. Smith grabs my cheeks and makes me say Christmas. And for those of you who don't know, I go sur les movies like I talk like this, so don't be confused. I have a French dialect, all right? So I don't talk in English, and then suddenly I talk like English. So I'm talking like this, and then she grabs my cheeks, and I don't know if that was in the script. I mean, that could have even been improvised. I mean,
can you say Christmas?
She might have, but like the way she did it, and she grabbed my face, and I'm just like completely limp, and she's like, "Dish." Oh my God, like cry tears. Like, and I remember the people watching, like the cameraman and everything, they were all doing like the shake, you know, when you're quiet and you're trying not to
like, right.
You know, it was so hilarious. I could see it like in the corner of my eye, everybody bopping up and down.
Well, who would not want Monique to be their girlfriend? I mean, the girl fixes cars. She got that freaking Camaro running for him. Me as a mechanic who knows how to fix cars, that would have been great. Having a girl that knows how to fix cars. You know, she had made Cusack get a pair of balls and stick up for himself. You know, she told him, you got to go out there. You have to be yourself, you know. But what a great movie. The movie we were talking about is Better Off Dead. You have to see it. I got to mention the coat. The coat.
Yes.
Two things I want to mention.
Okay.
Out of all the wardrobe that you had, the most recognizable, I would say, from that movie was the ski outfit, which you sold at a garage sale. You said it in the book. See,
Somebody out there has
I read the book, Diane. I read the book.
Someone out there has the aardvark jacket, the hangers, and the ski outfit. Somebody out there. I wonder who.
She sold that, but she wears this coat. There's the coat there, and she still has it. And if you get to meet Diane Franklin, and I hope to meet her live one day,
I feel like we already have met. Isn't that funny?
I know. Well,
no, we have to meet in person.
That's how it is. We're definitely gonna meet.
I got to go from to the Nassau Coliseum to a convention there. They had a Long Island convention, so I got it.
Are you? When?
Well, I almost went during the convention. During 2020, there was a convention that invited me. And it was a Long Island signing convention at the Nassau Coliseum during the summer, like July. I was booked to go. I was all excited because I was planning to go visit Amityville House in Long Island. Forever. And then it got canceled because of COVID. So I got to get to Long Island. I have to contact.
I thought you were going to be a chiller. That's why I asked you. Coming in Jersey. But
been a killer a couple of times, but
but we'll definitely do that. But the thing is, and part of the book is she lets you, I'm not going to say everybody, but she lets some of the fans try the coat on and take pictures.
Yep. Because I wanted people to feel like if they, and it was funny too. It was only the people that love Better Off Dead. Like if somebody didn't know the movie, I'm like, no, that's not even a thing. But it was for people who would appreciate it. And all these people wore the coat. Like they were like, let's take a picture in the coat.
Right.
So if at some point it goes to like the motion picture theater, like a museum or something like that, I just thought it was a really cool thing to share. Plus, it's a guy-girl jacket. Like a guy can wear it and a girl, which was really exciting.
Well, you said you bought it at Nordstrom and it was a man mannequin.
Yeah.
Right?
It was a man mannequin, yeah. So it was a guy's jacket technically, but it was so good.
Yeah.
So good.
So I mean, like I said, I'm loving the book. I love the book. I read it. You got to go out and get this. It's available on Amazon. It comes within 2 days. Anywhere else they can get it, Diane?
No, actually. And there's no audio, and there's no Kindle. And the reason why is because I wanted everyone to get the book, because I had a feeling like this book is more valuable if you get the actual copy, then, I can sign it. And the thing I've been telling people is if you buy it on Amazon and then you bring it to a convention that I'm at, I will sign it for free. So if you buy it and then bring it, fine. And if not at a convention, I do have them. And then I'll sign it at the convention.
Here's my favorite part of the book. At the end, it says, you can stop reading now. The book is done. Watch the film. What she's alluding to is at the end of the movie, there's a tag. It says, the movie's done. You can go home now.
Right.
Because that was me, Diane. All the movies, I would sit there watching the credits. I would watch the gaffer. I would watch the second director, the caterer. I would look at the names. Crazy, crazy stuff. But that was me. And that's how I got to where I am today. I would just read everything, the actors, the actresses. And I would be the last guy in the movie until everything. And then when I saw that, I was like, oh, okay. I guess I can go home now.
I was like, oh yeah. What's really sweet about that from the Savage's standpoint is he's with you till the very end. Like Savage, it's his baby. When I told him I was going to write this book, he was so honored. And so he wrote me, in fact, I'm going to post this. He sent me a message after he read the book, and I have not posted it on Instagram. But if you see this now, check my Instagram. I'm going to put it on my Instagram, what he wrote. Okay. And it meant the world to me because he gave me his blessing. Like this is my favorite movie.
Well, you mean the world to me, Diane, and that's the truth. I've been a fan for years. I mean, I'm glad. I guess we can call each other friends because we contact each other. Yes. Now, we did a little bit of acting the last time you were here.
Yes.
I'm going to put you on the spot again. I just want to do this one thing. Let's see if you remember it. You ready? Okay. Lane Meyer and Monique are at the top of the mountain, and Lane Meyer says, "Oh my God, how am I going to live through this?" And Monique says,
"Goes that way really fast. If something gets in your way, turn."
Yes.
Yes. And then
she said it. Yes. I love it. Awesome, Diane. Thank you so much. So, in closing, what do we have coming up with Diane Franklin? Anything new happening? I mean, you're always doing something. I want to give a shout out. I want to give a shout out to the last movie that you did called Clay Zombies, where we talked about a friend of the show as well, Fire Tiger. The band was in that, and you were in the video and blah blah blah. So you did that. What's coming up with you? Anything happening?
All right. So so just putting this out there, which is hilarious. Clay Zombies just came out with their Blu-ray. So if anybody wants it, you can go get it. You can order it now, I guess. Get it. Clay Zombies is out, which is hilarious. I guess it also has like a little comic book too, which is super fun. So there you go. Shout out to them.
Fire Tiger.
I love Fire Tiger. I love them.
They just came out with a cup. I'll give you a plug. James and Tiffany. See that? I gave you a plug again.
Love you guys.
With Diane Franklin on here. They just came out with an album, a covers album, all covers.
Yes, Fire Tiger came out with a new album. Yes, definitely check it out. They are wonderful. They have like the best 80s sound.
Retro pop 80s sound.
Yeah, Tiffany's voice is so good. Excellent. Yes. Then this came out, which is kind of cool. And I don't know if people
Shock Cinema.
This is like at Barnes and Noble, and I'm like so shocked. But they did a whole article thing on me, and I tell you, I was totally honored. It's like, oh my gosh, like so to me, like it's like old cinema. I love old cinema.
Now let me ask you, Diane, stuff like that. I'm sure there's so much stuff out there where you want it. Do they call and ask you permission? They just put it out.
No, this one they interviewed me, so they asked. Okay. Yeah, people do ask, and they get permission first. Yeah, for sure. I've been lucky that way. I think it's just because I'm much more. I'm open to discussion and to talk about, like, and because I love nostalgia, so I'm like, okay, I just think it's really fun.
Yes.
I look back at the old days and go, oh, that's.
Speaking about nostalgia, and I have to mention this: your first movie, The Last American Virgin, is coming up on the 40th anniversary, and I'm hearing rumblings there's going to be like a 40th reunion.
Yeah, they're trying to do this in Los Angeles. So that's going to be, talk about things that are coming up. Supposedly there's going to be a reunion, and I don't know how many people they're going to get. But
I know Joe's going to be there. He's dying to do it.
Yep. Joe's going to be there. Yeah. Hopefully Lawrence, Kimmy. I want Boaz to be there. I think that would be great. So we'll see. That's coming up this year. I'm going to be doing, I think maybe, keep your fingers, I think the end of May, I might be in Catalina with an 80s event. And I think it's called Lost at Sea, May 27th or 28th. I'm not sure what date, but I might be introducing a band there in Catalina. It's like an 80s, it's like Flock of Seagulls and English Beat and Missing Persons and Dramarama and Bow Wow Wow and just like a lot of different Tommy Tune, all these different 80s bands.
Awesome. I said this, I think I mentioned this to you before. One show that I want to see you on is Cobra Kai. I would love to see you on Cobra Kai.
Oh my gosh, seriously. I mean, wouldn't that be unbelievable?
I mean, you're an 80s icon. You fit right into the mold. You're beautiful. I could see you like being like a love interest to William Zabka.
Yeah, I will. Please contact them and tell them, because I don't know. Like I mean, I don't know.
And that show's the biggest show on Netflix.
I know. And wouldn't it be amazing? Well, I'm gonna write that note. Let's contact
Cobra
them.
Kai.
I'll just contact them.
Do I got to call some of my cousins to tell them to make a call for you?
Cousins, yeah. Tell them Diane Franklin can do it. She'd love to. That'd be super fun.
Any movies coming out?
Yeah, I did a short film that's called Falling Up, where I play a woman from the 1950s. It's sort of like what is it? That's going to be in a sort of like the film festivals kind of thing. But I play it's sort of like X-Files-ish kind of story. And then I had the movie Waking Nightmare, which still has not come out. But
yeah, I know you mentioned that.
You see that if that film comes out and ever, that film is the scariest. I saw actually a screening of the whole thing, so I know they have it done. It will rock your boat. You'll never see me in a role like this. I will blow you away. So yeah, stay with Better Off Dead, because that's the
guys. Go out, get this book. I read it. You heard it from this is Rock Shop approved. The first Rock Shop approved this year is Diane Franklin book, The Excellent Comedy of the Last American French Exchange, Baby of the 80s, Better Off Dead book. Last question, Diane. Now because we're talking about Better Off Dead. We divulged a little bit that you were up for playing Marty McFly's girlfriend in Back to the Future. Correct?
Oh,
I thought you were.
Marty McFly's girlfriend.
Yeah,
no, it wasn't.
Elizabeth Shue's part. Oh, the Karate Kid.
Karate Kid.
Damn it. Okay, the Karate Kid.
I was screen tested. That means when you're screen tested, they is down to the wire, and it was between me and two other girls. One of them is Elizabeth Shue.
The reason why I was asking that was I heard that John Cusack was up for the role of Marty McFly in Back to the Future.
Oh my gosh, that is crazy.
Yeah, that's true. But I'm sorry, I mixed the two up.
No, but isn't that interesting? Yeah, you never know. Like, and that's the other thing too. we as actors never know how close we got and how, what could have happened.
Yeah, they just don't call you. They're like, okay, somebody else got the part, and that's it. It's like a job interview too. You go, you think you nail it, and they ask somebody else, and they never call you.
Right.
Well, I want to thank the lovely Diane Franklin for coming back. She's on my wall forever. She had the Rock Shop shirt on. We had her book. I want everybody to go out and get it. It's Rock Shop approved. We're going to post this interview. We're going to sell a ton of copies on this book. And I'm telling you, you will not be disappointed. You will not be disappointed reading this book. If you love Better Off Dead as much as I do, as much as the fans do, you're going to love this book. And I'm sure she's going to have something else, and she's going to be back. Oh, she's got a copy there.
Yay! It is magnifique, I tell you.
Now, the next time you come with our little acting class, I guess we'll have to do what? Bill and Ted?
Totally.
All right, Diane. Thank you so much. Have a great night.
Ralph,
I'll talk to you soon. Thank you.
All right. Have a great night. Bye. Bye.